Hello students, in this our second video of second chapter of Indian economy, we are going to see our agricultural sector. Means from 1950 to 1990, what was our agricultural sector during that time. So at the time of independence, how was our agriculture sector developed? All these things we are going to see in this chapter. Before that, first we need to see the importance of agriculture sector, and then we will see the problems of agriculture sector. Now, as we all know that agriculture sector is predominant to our economy. Now, predominant to our economy means what? It is how much it is important. Means in the case of, it is very much important sector, say in the case of employment or any other you can say. During the time of independence, or you can say that in the year of 1950, majority of our population, of working population, say about 72% was engaged in agriculture, because agriculture plays a very important role in our Indian economy. Later on, industrial sector and service sector also came, but they were not very much developed, you can say. For that, first let us see the importance of this sector. When we talk about importance, students, the first point that comes over here is contribution to GDP. Contribution to GDP means what? How much is our agricultural sector contributing to our GDP in the economy? That much you have to understand. Our contribution of agriculture sector in GDP is 15 to 17%. In our recent in our recent survey also, we have found that 15.87% of GDP is coming from our agricultural sector only. So this is the reason this sector has to be given much important and it has to be improved. Second point it comes in importance is supply of food grains. Now everyone is very much aware, or you all have studied in their social science also, before the production of cash crops, our farmers were earlier only engaged in agriculture, only engaged in the production of supply of food grains. Why in the supply of food grains? Because for our living or for our survival, we need to have our basic food crops. Food crops means wheat and rice, all that things are definitely needed for our survival. Now, most important point to focus over here is that in our lockdown period also, students, we are all basically dependent on food grains only, say wheat and rice, etc., not on any other things. Third is, it is a source of employment. Now, agriculture is a source of employment. It is very much clear, as again and again we are emphasizing that majority of the working population is engaged in the agriculture. So, employment, most of the employment, it is coming from the agriculture sector. Whereas, our industrial sector and our service sector is also getting importance, but not much. Majority of the population is engaged in agriculture, means all are doing production only. So most of the things, most of the employment is going to the agricultural sector. Next point comes over here is supply of raw materials. See students, when we talk about supply of raw materials, means for the development of other sectors, say industrial sector also, if you want to develop the industrial sector, this agriculture sector has to be given much importance. How it has to be given? By supplying raw materials. Now, how this supply of raw material is giving importance to other sector, just understand. For example, suppose I want to, if you talk about setting up different industries, in different industries, suppose if I want to set up my furniture business, if I want to set up a furniture business, the basic raw material which I will need, wood you can say, from where it will get, suppose cotton is required or jute is required in various industries. So the basic raw material from where it is coming from agriculture sector. So its importance is very much needed. Next point comes over here is share of exports. Now when we talk about share of exports, here you have to understand that whatever percentage of production is coming in our country, for example, how much percentage we are exporting to other countries. Let us take an example. In our country, India, we have different regions, and all the different regions, they are famous for their particular production. Why they are famous? Because of the climatic condition. Best example I can give you is that tea. Tea production in India is being done in Assam. In Assam, the tea which is produced is exported worldwide. That was one example. There are various examples, various commodities in our country which are grown in a very specific area. You can say mango. You can say that mango production which is being grown, Alfonso mango, which is being grown in Maharashtra, is exported to other countries. Now, why we are able to do the production of various commodities? Because our climate condition plays a very important role. Because in India, we get all type of climatic conditions. So, because of a good climatic conditions, we are able to share a good quality of exports. So, this is another point in importance of agriculture. Next comes over here is source of revenue. Now, what is the meaning of source of revenue? See, all the people, those who are engaged in agriculture, definitely they are doing their production of particular crops or whatever agriculture production is being done. Our government is getting a revenue from that. Our government is collecting revenue, getting revenue. How? They are getting the revenue by collecting taxes from the people. So government is also getting the benefit that it gets its revenue. So which is another importance to agriculture. Last comes over here is market for industrial sector. If we say that market for industrial sector means what? For example, the industry which is set up for jute or which is set up for cotton, how it is based? It is also dependent on agricultural sector only. So because of this agricultural sector, other industrial sectors are also getting development. They are also getting a market, or you can say that they are also getting a place for the development of that particular sector. Now see, if we talk about importance, these were some of the importance to agriculture. In exam, if you find something else or other, you can write that also. Now after listening the importance of agriculture, let us then also look upon some of the problems of agriculture. Now you must be very much well aware that we have already studied agriculture. We have already studied the importance of agriculture. Now one thing I want to tell, if you look upon the social science syllabus of your lower classes, say about any other 10th or class 9th, whatever you might have studied. I know you people are not at all aware, or you people are not at all remembering what you have studied. In that social studies, you have studied what? You have studied that our agriculture sector was very poor. No. If I ask you this question, everyone will say, yes ma'am, agriculture sector was very poor. But why it was poor? What was the reasons? Even you will say, yes ma'am, we know the reasons, that there was a irrigation facility, there was a problem of irrigation facility. They were having financial problems also. All this much you know. But how was this problems of agriculture? That we will study in this next topic, that is the problems of agriculture sector. First point comes over here is lack of irrigation facility. Our farmers, whatever they were doing the production, they were only dependent on rain. Means no other source of irrigation facility they were having. Because they were only dependent on rain, and if there is a good rain, they used to get a good production of crops. Later on, you can also say that Britishers also introduced tube wells in many places, but that was not possible to construct all over in most of the places. Second point, so that was one point of irrigation facility. Second problem which was faced in the agriculture sector was small and scattered holdings. Now what is the meaning of this? Small and scattered holdings. Say this is a big land. Okay. This is a big portion of land. Small proportions of land was being given to the different farmers. Okay. Suppose this person is having this much portion. Another person is having only this much portion. So small portions of land was given to the different farmers. Now in this small and scattered holding means what? People were not able to use the modern techniques of production in this small portion of land. Now why they were not able to use? Because if the portion of land is very small, it is very difficult to use a tractor on this particular plot of land. If the portion of land is quite large, tractors could be used, or you can say modern equipments could be used. Third point comes over here is deficiency of institutional finance. Deficiency means what? You know, deficiency means which is not existent, means which is they are having lack of institutional finance. Now as on today, we are having NABARD. That is what? National Agricultural Bank for Rural Development. What is this bank these days doing? These banks provide aid, you can say. It is a government bank, means government provides finance to the farmers for their agriculture production. But was this facility available during the time of independence or say in the year 1950? No, this was not at all available for the farmers during that time. So what they used to do, students, whatever crop production they were doing during that time, they used to sell to the local vendors. Local vendors, you can say what means whatever financial problems they were having, they used to go to the small money lenders. Small money lenders means that zamindars or mahajans or whatever small money lenders, or you can say that they used to apply for to the non-institutional sources. Non-institutional sources means zamindars, money lenders and all those comes under this. If you are remembering in class 11th also, class 10th also, you have studied about this in your economics. Institutional sources and non-institutional sources. So people used to depend on non-institutional sources, and those money lenders used to charge them a very high rate of interest, or in return the farmers used to give them their jewelry or their plot of land in place of mortgage, and they used to take a huge amount from the money lenders, and the money lenders used to charge a very high rate of interest. Because of this facility, this was the another biggest problem the farmers were facing in the agriculture. But these days it is not there. These days government is helping in many other ways to all the farmers in providing finance. So we have to compare agriculture sector during that time and as well as on today. What is our country's condition as on today? Both the things we have to see. Next point comes over here is conventional outlook. Now what is meant by conventional outlook? Means the conventional outlook means nazariya, how the people used to think about the production activity. Means what was the outlook of the farmers? What was the outlook means? They were totally based on traditional methods of farming. Traditional methods of farming means what? They were only dependent on whatever things they will do it by hand only. They were not willing to use any fertilizers or pesticides or use of tractors in their production activity. They were not believing in that. That outlook could not develop our farmers to grow more in agriculture. Next and the last point over here is lack of organized marketing system. Now this point all of you must be very well aware. If you see today's condition, as on today, if any particular farmer or any particular small businessman has to sell their product, they have got a very large market surrounding nearby system. Okay, they can go to the market and they themselves can go to the market and they can sell it at a very good rate. But in 1950 period that was not possible. So because farmers were not having a proper organized market. Why they were not having? Because they were not so much talented or educated, you can say, that they used to go to the local mandi and sell them. What they used to do? They used to sell their production. Whatever production they have done, they used to collect it and they used to give it to the local vendor at a very, very low cost. Say for example, wheat or rice, they used to sell at rupees 1 per kg, and that particular vendor used to sell those particular commodities at rupees 15 per kg in a wholesale market and used to get that much of money. So because the farmers were not having that much, they were not having that much knowledge about market system. But as on today, it is not possible. We have these days got retail business, e-commerce retail business also. Even they provide good market for the people. As compared to today, in 1950, the condition was very poor and people were not able to sell their products in a good market conditions. So students, this was about the importance and problems of agriculture. In our next video lecture, we will see the other part 3 of this second chapter. Okay.